What's going on, Luka Nation? This is a Saturday edition episode, and it's one that's kind of been selected by fans as one of the favorite topics that we do. So, Cage, it was back in the day we did this thing like Would You Rather? Yep. And I give you two players, performance based. Who would you invest in? So we're going to do one of those for NBA, NFL, and vintage cards.
Cool.
But before we get into that, can I go a little different route in the beginning? Because I'm kind of I want to call two parties out, if that's okay.
You want to call people out?
Yeah, it's not positive Andrew today on the Saturday.
Oh, that's not good. If we can't both be negative.
It's not negative. It's just two things that kind of rub me the wrong way. Okay, and I'll read you the first one. This is from Golden Auctions.
I know you're always telling me that you're a fan of getting rubbed the right way. So if you're getting rubbed the wrong way, then yes, 100%. I think we should. I'm gonna put my microphone on mute, and I'm done.
You don't have to go on mute when I talk.
If you're laughing, no, because it sounds like you have something you want to get out. It sounds like you have. You ever see the movie Distinguished Gentlemen? It's like if you want to tell me something about poultry, I'm going to listen. Well, it sounds like you have a point to make. So I am going to take my microphone and put it on mute, and I'm going to give you the soapbox. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to let you do your thing. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2,
but I do
1,
like to make my points in discourse. Okay. I'm someone who wants to make sure that my points are sound. But Golden Auctions tweeted today, Golden Auctions is excited to be partnering with Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho will be at our booth at the National to do a meet and greet with our top 15 consigners. This is extremely exciting news for the soccer card hobby and hobby at large. The top 15 consigners who send us the most valuable soccer items between now and July 29th will receive exclusive access to a private meet and greet with Brazilian soccer legend Ronaldinho. So here's my thing. To me, National is a place for people who are on the outside of the hobby to become more interested. To me, National is a place where people who want to join the hobby but aren't so sure, like, is this for me? Come and they have a blast and they're like, I'm going to do this again. To me, National isn't a place where the rich get richer. Okay? And to me, it's so short-sighted and kind of tone deaf to invite a soccer legend and then be like, only the people who spend the most money with us are going to be able to meet him. It defeats the entire purpose of what we're doing here. And to me, like, Golden is one of those companies that's like a bellwether, like a LeBron card. It's a bellwether of the hobby. They're a role model of the hobby, and they should take that seriously and be like, dude, we're going to throw an event where Ronaldinho gets to meet all of the people, regardless if you're consigning $100,000 or $1 or no dollars with us, because we've made so much money. We've had success. We have a platform and relationships, and we want you guys to have a good time because it's National. It's the convention of the sports hobby. And there's going to be kids there. There's going to be parents there. It's an idol. That's where I'm at with it. Soapbox and the numero uno.
So can I come off mute?
Anytime, things. Brother.
Is Ronaldinho an F1 driver? Like, why is he so popular? No.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Ronaldinho is top in my bro. Ronaldinho,
is he Ronaldo's,
top 5 or top 10? Top 5 player of all time, in my opinion.
Is he Ronaldo's? He's Ronaldo's son. Like Ronald.
I don't get that. I don't get the joke. Luka Nation, you guys listening? You guys know we do one take, no prep, no notes. Cage hasn't taken a note since like 1933. No notes here. I don't know where Cage is going with this, so I'll just pretend it's improv.
So,
yes,
a couple things. Number one,
he's Ronaldo's son.
Yes, nice. So I don't really. I would not care. So here's the fun part. I'm like, oh, the top 15 consigners are golden. I wonder if that counts like the last couple auctions. No, it's from now going forward, right? So I'm not going to be in that. I'm definitely not consigning the top 15 soccer consigners unless I could send them a couple of finest boxes that I have, which is probably not going to get me the top 15, right? So that's not going to do it. So here you go. I don't care. Right? So
you didn't even listen to the point.
No, I did. I heard your point. Your point is that you have an opinion about.
I don't care.
Yeah, well, you have an opinion about the National, which I think a lot of people would disagree with, especially given the fact that you've never been there. You say it's not a place for the rich to get richer. I think the rich would tell you that you're wrong. I would tell you that, that yes, it's a sports convention for folks, and there are autograph signers.
That's all you heard? That's all you heard? Though?
Yeah, but what
else about like all the people that are on the outside of the hobby that are coming there for the first time who haven't collected a lot of cards?
And you think they're entitled to meet Ronaldinho? You think Ken Golden should pay for every one of those people to meet Ronaldinho? So I heard your point.
I didn't say entitled.
Well, yes, you did.
You added the word
entitled.
It's the
convention for the people. It's the people. You don't think those people should meet Ronaldinho? No, I don't. I think that it's still a business, and I think that there has to be a bright line demarcation. And I'm sure Ronaldinho that's it. It's Ronaldinho, like Dino the dinosaur from the Flintstones. So I'm sure he's not doing this out of the kindness of his heart. I'm sure he's not coming there and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna, you know what? Put me in a booth. Let people throw baseballs at me. Put me in a dunk tank. Get me out there with the riffraff. The guys who forgot their deodorant that morning. Get me out there, and I will meet everybody. And I want to do it for free." No, I'm sure Ken Golden's paying for this, right? And just like anything else, right? Just like why do you not have a problem with people who are having dinners at Morton's but aren't inviting every single one of our listeners? Why don't you have a problem with people who are having, a VIP event but only extending it to VIPs? How is this any different? It's Ken Gold. I'll tell you why it's different, because you want to meet Ronaldinho. And you were hopeful that you'd run into him and have him sign a jersey of yours in the lobby. But now you find out that, no, it's a VIP event and it's something that you're not a VIP. Well, you know what? Here's the answer. Become a VIP, right? You make enough money where you're a VIP and someone wants to take care of you at this. And then you tell Golden, "Hey, Ken, I wasn't important enough for you when Ronaldinho was there. And now I'm going to go chill with Heritage. And they're going to have Maradona or whoever they're going to bring out of mothballs and have as an event." What do you want me to tell you, man? There are levels to this, right? And while I want to meet every single person in the world, I can't play soccer, and I don't have a cool name. They don't call me Cajadinho, right? I'm just me. So I'm there for the people. That's great, but Ken's got to do. Look, he's going to meet his top 15 consigners. He's going to meet people. He's going to meet money people who make him money. He has to have a VIP event for those folks. Now, you want to tell me that you think they should make it like randomized? Sort of like Top Shot's doing with their suite for the draft? Okay, maybe. I could see that. Like anybody who's consigning with him has a chance to meet Ronaldinho. Okay, maybe that's a nice happy medium between what you're saying and just the rich get richer. But dude, I don't have a problem with it. It's his business, and obviously those top 15 people are going to make him a lot more money than everybody else. And I'm sure if you know him and you're making this big deal about this soccer guy, he must be a damn good soccer player. And I'm sure he doesn't come cheap. Go ahead. Sorry.
Absolutely not. So that's the first thing. So the soccer player doesn't come cheap, right? Mm-hmm. You compared it. Your argument was Morton's VIP dinner, right?
Yeah, or anything.
Okay, amazing. Morton's equally isn't cheap, right?
No, I'm sure it's not.
Okay, amazing. The big difference there, Morton's VIP dinner is a networking event. So it's an event that people create so that it's branded by whomever is running it. It's collectible this year, so guys, check that out. But it's branded by whoever's running it.
I'm sure there's plenty of dinners at Morton's. I'm sure there's plenty of sponsored dinners.
Okay. But it's not a transactional event in that collectible, whoever's running it, DraftKings or whoever, is charging you something. It's not a transaction. It's not a sales thing. It's a marketing. It's an event. When we're talking about Golden, they first had made the announcement that Ronaldinho is going to be at National. Mm-hmm. A week later, with 2-3 days to spare before National, 4 days, they make the announcement that, oh, by the way, we're going to have a VIP event, but only the top 15 people who consign with us will get to meet him. So it's basically a sales event. Send us money, which will buy you a ticket. Two different things. One is brand and event creation. Okay. I can't think. Experiential marketing is how some people call it. The other is transactional. It's a sale. That rubs me the wrong way. Second, you said that this is I'm a big fan and that this rubbed me the wrong way and I like to get rubbed the right way, which is all true statements. You know me a little bit. I've been able to get into rooms that I probably don't deserve to be in for a long time. Do you really think that I'm not going to be able to beat Ronaldinho? Do you really think this qualm is with me? Do you think it's because I don't think that I could get a chance to meet Ronaldinho? Or do you think it's maybe someone who doesn't have a podcast and a platform and doesn't have a relationship with other people in the hobby that might introduce me? It's for the guy who's 28 years old, who has a son, and he played college soccer, and he's just getting into the hobby, and his dream is to meet Ronaldinho. So maybe one second, Cage, let me finish. Maybe you can't play soccer because you don't play soccer. I was going to go a different way. I don't want to insult you. Maybe you can't play soccer. But people that did play soccer, we love Ronaldinho. He changed the game. It was Jogo Bonito. And a lot of people that are my age would love a chance to meet with him. And a lot of people my age are just the ones getting into the hobby 6 months ago that have already lost money. Like you said, you've always stuck up for the little man who have some soccer cards. They might have bought soccer cards and Mbappe cards and they've gone down. And now they have to consign and battle to be a huge consigner with Golden to get a chance to meet their hero. Super, super short-sighted, in my opinion.
I don't know. I try to promise to our folks that we're not going to be, we're not going to lie to them, right? So why are we stopping there, right? Why aren't you taking it up with the National, that everybody who buys a ticket to go to the National should get VIP status, right? Why are there certain tickets? Why are there just day passes that anybody can just get in for $20, but it's $150 for a VIP thing that gets you some autographs? Everyone should get the autographs. Why is it that there are suites in the Hyatt hotel next to the place and in the Hilton, but there are also smaller rooms? Like, some people are able to buy suites. Hilton should be giving everyone suites because we're here for the common man. Okay, Alexandra Ocasio-Goldberg, I understand where you're going.
No, you're missing with it. You're missing it.
No,
Hilton,
you are.
Hilton and the convention center are selling. They're in the sales business.
But what he's going to tell you is it's not
at this event.
So you're reading
it's
it
branding.
as sale. He's going to say, I'm rewarding the top 15 people who consigned with me. My golden customers who were going to consign anyway. Did he give them a little sweetener?
4 days before National?
So there you go. He's going to say, people already sent me soccer stuff. I'm going to reward the top 15 golden people. This is a reward. It's not a sales thing. Now, obviously it is. But it's not. I'm rewarding the people who consign with me. I don't listen. Would I rather everyone have access to everyone? Sure. But this particular bone that you're picking, I mean, I get it. I understand where you're coming from.
Luka Nation, this is 12 minutes in. Let us know what you think. This is fun. We haven't done this in a while. My second one.
You got more bones.
Hopefully more simple. Nice. I am annoyed that Top Shot has been in beta for about a year, and they still can't figure out how to add an offer button to their marketplace. Hey, is that more practical?
Yeah, I mean that's. Listen, I decided that I'm out on Top Shot quite a long time ago. Here, we've been talking about how they just couldn't get out of their own way, and it's interesting the way that they're deploying their money into these odd, celebrity things that I'm sure
355 million in Dapper.
Here's what's funny.
Can you explain because I didn't do a good job why offer is so important? It's such a subtle thing.
Sure. So I'm just my own personal gripe with them. I was holding Lamelo moments. It was one of the last couple of moments that I sold, the hollow, the whole deal. And now they just announced that the Lamelo gold that they're going to give out once to people who are holding the Lamelo moments. Like, if you were holding a hollow, you got basically a 50% chance of getting the gold. If you were holding a cool cat, it was legit the last stuff I sold. So I'm pretty sure they had a meeting and they were like, oh, let's just, hey, that Cage guy, let's get him mad because he literally just sold these things. But no, the offer thing, right? It's liquidity.
Guys, all of Cage's concerns are subjective. Correct. Cage thinks that Top Shot specifically doesn't get him into the queue.
That's true.
He hasn't gotten a pack since February.
No, I never got.
Go back to Cage.
I only got a common pack. I never got a rare pack. Never got a queue. Never once. Never, and I never will. So
go to Cage's Twitter and just go tweets and replies, and he tweets at Top Shot every time he doesn't get into the queue.
Every queue. So it's there. There's a record. Twitter is forever. You will see all my queue numbers, and they're all huge. They're as big as my weight. So here's the fun, right? So you're 100% right. So liquidity. Part of the problem with this is that Top Shot is not as beat up as people think it is. It's not as down as people think it is. people saw, was that a whisper? That was scary. Was that, somebody just whispered something. It's like a horror movie. It's I'm right behind you. It was crazy. I don't know if you guys heard that out there in Luka land, But so
I'm just right here.
Yeah, all right. So maybe I'm hearing things. But ready for this? Liquidity. Do the valuations that people had with these third-party, companies, Evaluate.market, Moment Ranks, and people are like, oh, my collection's worth $1 million. No, it's not. It was never worth $1 million. That was what the buy it now price on eBay is. But when those buy it now prices on eBay, when they get sold? When you're allowed to make a best offer. They're rarely sold at that buy it now price. It happens, but it's rare. And the best offer, we all know, is probably 50% of the actual buy it now price, sometimes less, right? And sometimes people just put those prices up there because who knows?
Really, what they should have is a 24-hour auction. But an auction is difficult to build in. So the reason an auction is so valuable is it's the closest thing to true value of an asset that there is.
Yep.
And the hardest thing with Top Shot is how do you value it? There's nothing like it ever before. It's impossible to value. And having an offer function is the easiest way to at least kind of hack, creating an auction is difficult, but an offer button, it takes 10 minutes of engineering time to create an offer button. It's right near that buy it now button. And for a year, they haven't figured that out. And one of the issues with Top Shot was the fact that when anything dropped, whenever there was a pack drop or whenever the marketplace was going down in price, people would list an item, then wait 1 minute and delist it and lower it. And it was this free fall to the bottom. It was like an avalanche of prices.
Yep.
Whereas with an offer, you would have just listed your item and you would have had offers come into your profile. And it would have, that FOMO when things are going up in price? Well, when things are going down in price, that fear is when people keep seeing the prices of these buy it nows drop. And adding an offer button to me seems like the easiest thing in the world. And I can't believe they haven't done it. And I tweeted at them today and they acted like it requires a ton of engineering work and it's a big product lift and it's not in full alignment on the mechanics. And to me, that was the biggest PR thing I've ever heard. It was just like, dude, it's an offer button. That's super simple.
Well, listen, I mean, I'm not an engineer of that stuff. I don't code. So if they're saying it's that hard, I'm gonna have to take them on their word that it's that hard. But it is surprising. It's very surprising that it's that hard. Because you're right. I mean, you're not asking for the auction. You're not asking for them to build out a full-on eBay framework here. It's just right next to the click buy button, click offer button. But I mean, like I said, I don't. But to me, that seems pretty straightforward.
I think so too. Luka Nation, different episode, right? Today, I promised you guys. I think they'll enjoy this on a Saturday.
Yeah, why not, dude? Listen, and you're allowed to have your gripes. I mean, you're allowed to have your hobby, sourpuss. And I get the Ronaldinho thing too, because they did kind of initially market it as like he's coming to the National, he's going to be there, let's go. We're making him available to people. Very magnanimous was the initial announcement, and now it seems very limited. And
would you rather?
It's sort of a rug pull.
This is so fun. People love this segment. It's just we're not going to give you guys any plays today. This is the kind of the play. So in a perfect market, when things are more performance based, I present Cage with two options, and he gets to choose. Who does he think has a better potential future? Right?
Shoot.
Any final words?
Do I get a pass? I've never used one in over a year anyway, so I won't take it anyway. But no, final words. I like this segment. Go. I'm glad, man.
NBA. Lamelo or Devin Booker?
And we're talking about basically base prism rookie, all things being equal, or just who I want to invest in going forward. If I had $10,000, which one would I put it in? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. More performance driven than card driven, but take the cards into account because obviously Lamelo doesn't have all his prism PSA 10s back. But I would say 75% performance, 25% card related.
All right. I mean, I would say Lamelo of those two, only because I think we're seeing the top on Booker. Unless he really is going to be working on his 3-pointer and figuring that part out. I think we just saw probably the best we're going to get out of Booker in the Suns. The West is always a beast. The West has a lot of great teams in it. It's going to be hard for them to get back to the finals. He's got some great individual numbers, but we've seen individual numbers don't really translate over. LaMelo has a longer haul, though. Right, that team is just terrible. There are a lot of young guys there, which is great, but that team is bad. But if they could put it together, add some more pieces to it, maybe add 1 or 2 legit guys, he's got a pretty good skill set. I mean, we watched him play last year. I mean, he had like this 94-foot like underhand pass. It was like basket caught by Bridges. I mean, like he does stuff on the court that not a lot of people are doing. So, in that regard, especially on the card investing side, there's a lot of room to get kind of excited about him. So that's where I'll go. It's a very close, matchup though.
What if instead of Ronaldinho coming to National, it was Lamelo coming to National?
Yeah, Devontae Graham is where you should go. Because I would find a way to meet Devontae Graham. Not because I think he's the best player on earth here, but
I spent more on cards than your salary.
Pretty much. No, listen, I mean, we will do everything we can to get you to meet Ronaldinho. But more importantly, we'll do everything we can to get as many of you guys listening out there to meet Ronaldinho. I'm calling me inspired. I may email Ken Golden after this and tell him to listen to this and see whether or not he opens it up to the masses. Because I think he may think you have a point. I'm going to send him a link. And guys, anybody who's listening to this who thinks Andrew's got a point, send Ken a link. Go ahead, hit him on Twitter.
Next is Ja or Trae?
Trae. I think Trae showed you that he can turn it up when he needs to. Trae's skill set is much better for today's game and for longevity in his career. Ja, you've said multiple times that Ja is not even the best player on his team. You think Jaren Jackson is. Ja's much more athletic, and while he can get to the rim with explosiveness now, we already saw him get hurt this year. I don't love his three-pointer, and I think, if he worked on that and added one to his game, that would be very helpful. But just the style of play, better team situation right now for Trae. I'm going Trae.
Curry or Durant?
Curry or Durant, you said?
Curry or Durant?
Curry a million times over Curry, because Curry kind of changed the game. Curry is a guy who won without super teams. Durant literally had to join Curry to win a championship. So if I have no other sentence in making this decision, that will be the decider. People like Curry. I don't hear that many people out there in our hobby, even LeBron lovers, even people that hate Curry. Like, there are people who don't love him. There are people who are not Curry fanboys. There are Curry fans, but there is hatred of Durant. People really dislike Durant. So that's another deciding factor when you're talking about who you'd pick between those two, who you'd invest in.
It's a good one. Bradley Beal, Spider Mitchell.
That's a tough one. I would say Beal if he goes to a different team, right? Beal's he's in a tough team, right? I mean, the Wizards just seem to not have the ability to go anywhere or do anything, build anything up.
Do you think the Jazz last year go farther with Beal instead of Mitchell?
I do. Yes, I do. I think Mitchell is what, Beal seems to be much more like you're in a tight game, Beal's going to go get it for you.
Yep.
And if he doesn't get it, he's going to go to the glove compartment, pull out a gun, and shoot the other team. That seem to be advancing to the next. That's what I think when I see Beal. Beal's got a little.
Are you confusing him for Gilbert Arenas?
Yeah. No, but Beal, I think if
Beal's a nice guy, Cage.
Yeah, but which one I'm going to go to war with? I mean, Beal, he might be the nicest guy in the world, and maybe we can get Ken Golden to introduce him to you at the National. But he seems like you want to go to battle with him, right? You want at the end of the game, he looks like the guy who is like, if anybody else takes this shot, I'm not going to be happy. Whereas Spider, I think he'd be just as happy to dump it into Rudy Gobert or let Joe Ingles take the shot from the corner. And that's the real difference I see between the two of them, and why I think if Beal were on the Jazz, they'd probably go a little further. They're both a little undersized, but it is what it is.
I try to think through these guys, by the way. So I try to think through these, and I always come with a different angle, Klay or SGA?
Klay. Although I am very, very interested. The Klay story is one of the bigger ones for me going forward. If Klay comes back and is anything like what he was before, or some people have predicted he's going to be even more. He's coming off a 2-year basically hiatus. He's going to want to try to fit 2 years into one. If he's got a skill set anything like what he had, if he's able to shoot, if he's able to play and stay healthy, the Warriors are going to be a problem, right? And here's the difference between those two. While SGA has more time ahead of him than Klay does, Klay's already won multiple times. He's already got multiple rings, right? He's already got a whole bunch of great, scoring behind him. And he's got a franchise that seems to find a way to win when they can. And I think they're going to go into this season with sort of like a win now mentality to kind of squeeze what they can out of Klay and Steph. Whereas the Thunder, you read articles every year about how the Thunder is being managed brilliantly and that they're winning the offseason and they're winning the draft and they're winning, and they have more first-round draft picks than the rest of the league combined. But I never see it actually translate into the win column. And yes, that could happen going forward, but that's a big if where they play. I like SGA. I think he's talented. And I think that they're probably going to try to build around him with a nice young core. But I don't see him as somebody who's going to be enough to take a team to the upper echelons of that conference.
I chose that one because that one's an interesting one. It's kind of like the up and comer whose cards are cheap and he has a ton of upside versus a proven veteran whose cards are kind of in the middle ground. So that's why I chose that one.
Yeah, and you make it a little easier because Klay's cards have been beaten down a little bit because of his injury. But I like what you're doing there because there are a lot of people who like SGA. You, however, have been right on SGA for a very long time. I mean, he's the guy you call dead money. I mean, that team has to actually do something with those draft picks, maybe sign somebody and start winning some games before that changes.
That's another one Panini doesn't like. Panini chooses fat photos of Zion, and then they don't put rookie stamps on any of SGA's Prism cards. I wonder how much that matters, Cage. You think it matters?
I mean, there is probably a very small segment, very small, that looks at it and says that's not his rookie. But I mean, most people who are buying it for the prices that it's being bought for know that that's his rookie card, even without the rookie on it.
All right, Zion or Luka?
I'm gonna go Luka. I like Zion. I think
and remember, this is at the card prices they're at now too.
Yep, at the prices they're at now. Zion's been beaten down, but so has Luka. They're a good comparison from cards because they're both huge population. Zion's huge overall, but their pops are both gigantic, so it's a nice even comparison. It's funny because I want to say I'm worried about Zion health-wise, but he has been remarkably durable so far during his short tenure there. His body type would tend to kind of break down over time, and you're not going to get that lifetime of stats out of him. But Luka, I mean, he's not exactly the most athletic person in the world either, but I think Luka has a skill set that fills the the stat sheet, and I think Luka is one of those guys where Zion's going to score 30, Luka's going to score 30, but when you turn around, you're also going to notice that he also has 10 rebounds and 10 assists to go with that 30 almost every night and almost effortlessly. Zion, when he's getting 10 rebounds, it's not effortless, and he's definitely not getting 10 assists ever. Also, the real rub on this one is team, right? Like, which one of those teams has a better shot to actually succeed? The West is tough, and Dallas. I mean, I don't think Kristaps Porzingis is the answer as a number 2 with Luka. But if they're able to build something for him there, maybe.
And the Pelicans. Anthony Davis won a championship. Drew Holiday won a championship.
Yeah, so maybe Zion will leave. But yeah, the funny thing is that I give it a draw for their franchises because neither of their franchises are going to help them. Like, I'm not going to point to either of their franchises as I'm going with Luka because Dallas is a better franchise and gives them a better shot to win over Zion. No, I don't think either one of them has a great shot with their teams.
Wiseman or Edwards?
Edwards and like 500 times Edwards. It's a great comparison, obviously, because they were 1 and 2. They were a top 2 pick, and I'm a Wiseman guy.
People forget.
But, and look, Wiseman's young, right? I mean, he was a teenager last year, right? I mean, he's young, and you never know what someone like that's going to turn into. Wiseman gets the nod for better team. And if he actually contributes to a team that's winning and going to the playoffs this year and going deep into the playoffs this year, that could really help his cards from an investment perspective. But Edwards looks to me like, we kind of took our pot shots at last year's draft class. But between those three guys, maybe Patrick Williams in there, Halliburton, who looks phenomenal. I really like Halliburton. This could actually be a really good draft class. And Edwards, I think, has a shot to be the best of the bunch, which was a little weird because, first pick, it was like, all right, we'll take the safest play, Edwards. But he's got personality, right? And he's got if he can build on last year on those stats, he could really put it together and be one of those guys we talked about the faces of the league. Doesn't have to be a face of the league. He could be one of those guys. It's just he's stuck in Minnesota. But if Minnesota starts winning, you like Karl Anthony Towns, right? He's got some players around him, right? I mean, that team it shouldn't be as bad as it's been. And he's funny, like we talk about those guys that also have like personality and bring something to them and they're clippable. He's definitely one of those guys that's clippable.
LeBron or Giannis?
I'm going to say LeBron. Right now, I'm going to say LeBron.
Right now?
Right now. Right now, if I have to make the decision right now, I'm going to say LeBron, only because LeBron's still playing and can only help his legacy. Like, I don't care if LeBron, injures himself next year in the first game and doesn't play again. His cards are safe. They're going to slow and steady go up from there. They're blue chips. They're Apple stock. You know what I mean? You cannot right now say the same thing about Giannis. Yes, he's got a ring, MVPs, you name it. Not multiple rings. But if he hurts himself next year and their career goes down, you've now bought in, and you're probably going to see a 50% drop-off in the value of his cards. Because people who are buying now, they're not buying for the one championship and the two MVPs. They're buying for next year's championship and maybe the year after, maybe some more MVPs and whatnot. Because the price, his prices have gone up. They've gone up, tremendously. That said, there is more upside with Giannis, I think, because he's so young. He's going to play for another 10 years, right? And if he does happen to do, what people think he's going to do and maybe surpasses that, his cards could continue to go up. They could go up, better percentage than LeBron's. And the last point on it is he likes Chick-fil-A. So, I should have sided with Giannis because, he went to Chick-fil-A afterwards. But, the Giannis play is, he won without being on a super team, which I think when we start to have those GOAT conversations about these guys, it will matter. You know what I mean? Like Jordan did it in the beginning. Yes, he had Pippen, but that was a team that they built up. Like Middleton's the Pippen. You know what I mean? Chris Middleton owes me money for saying that he's as good as Pippen, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Like when you start talking about these GOATs, that's why the Curry versus Durant conversation went the way that it is. That definitely cuts in Giannis's favor. And in 5 years, that answer might be very different than what I just gave now. But for right now, I'm going to go with LeBron because it's the safer play.
Durant is more like a poison ivy. Daniel Jones or Drew Lock?
Huh. So you might be surprised by this one. For a player standpoint, I go with Drew Lock because he looked funny. He's singing on the sidelines. He's doing all that fun stuff, right? But if I have to, I don't like either one of them. If we're being honest, for investing purposes, but that's why you did. That's why you did what you did. You didn't give me Mahomes. There was no Herbert or Burrow in here yet. But those two, I don't want to invest in either. But if I have to, I'm going with Jones. And here's the only reason why: he's got a better dump off valve, so his stats can be bolstered by the fact that he's got Saquon there catching passes for him, and that's the ultimate safety blanket. It's like having Christian McCaffrey. Right, you just dump off passes and your passing numbers go up. So his individual numbers should always be good for as long as he's paired up with Saquon. But the bigger one is the division. He's in an easier division. You don't like Dallas. You don't like Dak. You're a Philly guy, but the Eagles, I don't expect them to always be great, right? I mean, they have good teams, and you know what? The Giants are probably one of them on the bottom side of that division. But the division itself, top to bottom, is not as good as the Broncos division. I mean, he's probably better than Derek Carr, but that division has Herbert in it and it has Mahomes in it. and he's basically the same age as Mahomes. So his success means he's going to have to take out Mahomes to have, playoff success. He's going to have to play Mahomes twice a year, and that's very, very difficult to ask anybody to do that. Jones doesn't have to do that. So that's why I go.
We've been infiltrated. There's a mosquito buzzing around.
That's all right.
It's not all right. I don't want to get bit.
Well, listen, here's the problem. You have a lot of blood. You are a VIP of blood. You're a rich person of blood. The rich get richer. Well, you don't want that mosquito to have access to your blood? What are you, Ken Golden? You only want,
Did you day drink today?
No, I never drink.
Day drink by the pool.
I'm an alcoholic. I don't even remember the last time. Maybe
really?
A month.
Yeah. Maybe a month. I love this guy, man. I can't wait to meet you. We get to meet on Thursday.
Yeah, man. It's going to be fun.
You reneged the bounty.
You know who else?
You reneged the bounty.
Yeah, but I don't want you to get hurt. I know you can handle yourself, but I don't want somebody like really water boy style lighting you up in the lobby of a hotel.
Like some of the fan power lifters in our group. Fan power lifters.
If it's at like the convention where there's security, like some of our guys will actually probably take it seriously and do it and film it, and then they might get thrown out. I don't want to be trying to explain to like security and the convention and the hotel. Oh no, this is all just a gag. And, he's in on it. He wants to be tackled. It's just not going to go well. So yes, I've rescinded the bounty on you being tackled.
So you famously are against how high Herbert cards are. You brought up Herbert.
Yeah,
his card prices are astronomically high.
Yeah, he better win 4 Super Bowls for people investing in him now.
So on the other hand, you have Aaron Rodgers, who has just a calamity of an offseason, and now there's rumors that he retires. Rodgers or Herbert?
Rodgers, because the retirement doesn't scare me. If he retires, he's gonna like host Jeopardy. Like he'll be on TV. Like he'll still remain relevant for some reason. He'll be on. He'll turn the retirement into. He'll be in movies with his fiance, or he's not retiring to go gently into that good night. You know what I mean? He's already won. He's already won the championship. He's already won multiple MVPs. That's a legacy cemented. Whereas Herbert has legit done nothing but be the best rookie quarterback in the league when the better rookie quarterback got injured. I'm talking about Joe Burrow.
Okay, so I guess then this is an easy one, Tua or Burrow.
Burrow. And
old, man.
The Tua love, yeah, but quarterbacks, you don't need a quarterback to be Tom Brady, right? No one's expecting a quarterback to play as long as Tom Brady did, right? And it's great, if some of these guys can do it, that's fantastic. But that's the exception to the rule. The quarterback, shelf life, being in their prime, you're not expecting somebody. So, if he's a couple years older than some of the other quarterbacks, that's fine. His prime will still be the same 6, 7, 8, 9 years. I say Burrow, and the Tua stuff. Tua was a better college quarterback than say like Hurts was, I think, and people are higher on Hurts than Tua. So I don't want this to come off that I'm like a Tua hater or anything like that, because I'm not. His cards are already kind of beat down. I just don't see Tua as a successful NFL quarterback. He's got a wonky wind-up. It's very long. It's one of those things that, like, if he didn't have the athleticism, there's no way he'd be back there. And I know this is the way the game is going. I know it's kind of, it's kind of changed, and those are the kind of things that get sort of overlooked. And he had some success last year, but I think that was more team success, than anything else. He's just not somebody that I consider, like, dynamic and putting up numbers. And, the NFL is following suit to the NBA, right? The NBA used to be, when I started watching it, a lot of fouls, people in the lane, post-game, running through the center, triangle offense, a lot of two-pointers, not that many threes, right? And football at the time was run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, right? And there used to be cards of 3,000 yards. You know what that was? If a quarterback got 3,000 yards passing in a season, they were one of the better quarterbacks, so that the tops would make a subset out of it and give you a 3,000-yard passer and a 1,000-yard receiver. Jerry Rice, Steve Young, like the Pro Bowlers were the ones that got the 3,000 yards. The backups get the 3,000 yards now. The running backs throw 3,000. You throw 3,000 yards. Ronaldinho could throw for 3,000 yards in this year in the NFL right now, right? So yeah.
Amazing recall.
We're having some fun. So, but 3,000 yards, come on, 16 games, right? I mean, that's not even 200 yards a game. These guys are throwing for 500 yards a game now. So it's a very different NFL. I don't see Tua as a guy who's going out there fantasy-wise, card-wise, who's going to put up 403 every week. Herbert has a chance to do that. Burrow has a chance to do that. Some of these other guys, Lawrence, he's probably going to be slinging the ball around. Tua, not so much.
Mahomes put up 5,000 yards in 2018.
Yeah, 5,000 yards, exactly. So, and even that's 16 games. It's slightly over 300 a game, which is good, right? But I could see a 6,000 yard season. Some of these guys go out there, they throw 500-600 yards in a game.
Wow, Cage, prophetic. Mahomes or Lamar Jackson?
Mahomes, just because he's done it already. I like Lamar. I know Lamar won.
Let me clarify this. I asked this question because Lamar prices have been beat down. Mahomes prices are at record highs and may even go higher. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah, I think they probably are going to go higher pretty soon. I get it. I still would go with Mahomes, but here's the deal: if you're looking for better risk reward profile, and better I mean more risk for more potential upside reward, Lamar Jackson is it. I mean,
I literally feel like I'm getting bit by the mosquito everywhere now.
I know, man. It's fun.
This is my nightmare.
I'm trying to.
This is my nightmare.
But yes, you need like mosquito netting. It's a lot of fun. Or like something, get a bug zapper or something. That'd be fun. Do an episode.
I have a show to do.
It's gonna be fun. And so Lamar's good. You're right. His cards have been beat up, and he's the guy who can take down Mahomes, right? I mean, he. The problem I have with Lamar is even more so than Tua. He's very reliant on his athleticism, right? And there have been quarterbacks that were able to do this for a short stretch. RG3, Michael Vick, obviously he had other issues going on. And Lamar fits into that category. He might be the best of that bunch, right? Randall Cunningham. He might be the best of that bunch because he does throw the ball very well, and he's really quick and really elusive. But I think the shelf life on a quarterback like that is significantly less than the shelf life on like a standing quarterback who's going to be in the pocket, statuesque, maybe a little bit of scramble to him. I think Mahomes can play forever. Guy hardly gets touched. He's got a quick release, gets rid of the ball. Whereas Lamar Jackson, you don't have to worry just about him getting sacked. You got to worry about him becoming a running back with the ball and really taking hits down the field. So definitely higher risk, potential higher reward. For me, I would stay away from that because it's too risky for me. I'm trying to be a little risk averse here.
7 more guys. All right, so let's wrap this up. We're at the tail end. A few more here. Justin Jefferson or DeAndre Hopkins?
So you almost have the same type of analysis there. Hopkins is one of those guys that's been sort of right around that top tier of wide receiver for a long time, but either seems to not be able to stay healthy, miss really big games, kind of disappears after having a huge game. And he's approaching that, what I would say is kind of like the area where he could potentially start to fall out of that top 5 in the league. And I don't know that he's ever really going to win, right? The team he's on now is good, but I don't think it's a winning team. Not that Minnesota looks like they are, although if Aaron Rodgers is gone, that makes it a lot easier in that division. Jefferson looks like the real deal. I mean, he had some really good games last year. This is another one, right, where Hopkins cards are obviously more money. So you'd be able to get more for Jefferson. This is a bigger risk than reward. But what makes it easier for me is picking Jefferson on this one is that you didn't give me Mahomes on the other side, who's won MVPs and Super Bowl already. You gave me Hopkins, who, yes, has been a real good wide receiver in the league for a long time, but has no real accolades, no MVP, no Super Bowl, no real playoff success to speak of. So to me, I'll take the many more years of potential Justin Jefferson and the lower price point.
Darnold or Jalen Hurts? Sam Darnold, Jalen Hurts.
I'm going to say Hurts. Right, I think Darnold is going to probably be better this year than he has been, and I'm glad he has the second chance. And he has the same thing going for him that we talked about with Jones. He's got a good safety valve. I mean, Christian McCaffrey will, catch 100 balls himself. Just help pad the stats for Darnold. And that there is something to be said, assuming McCaffrey can stay healthy, about having that. It's going to turn his whole game around, right? That said, I don't really buy Darnold. The whole he saw ghosts thing, I don't really, he's just not somebody I feel comfortable, putting my money in. You almost could have given me anybody on the other side of Darnold, and I probably would have picked them. To be honest, he's not somebody I expect to see. Like, we were walking around a show the other day, and I saw a Darnold Panthers jersey here in New York. And I was like, wow, somebody's a Darnold believer. He must have a Prism Silver or something. But, yeah, so it doesn't really matter who you put against Darnold. I'm going to go against Darnold. Go ahead.
Rank these running backs.
You said it was Hurts on the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hurts has the potential to be pretty good. But all he has to do is not be Darnold for me to pick him on that side. Next.
Rank these running backs in order from 1 to 4. Same concept, but 1 to 4. Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, I'm going to go Henry first because that guy's a beast, man. He really is. I don't think any of the guys you just named for me is going to threaten to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. So I take that out of the equation. Cook seems to be a guy.
This is taking into consideration card prices too, right?
I know. Yes, 100%. Right. But none of these guys are really expensive. I mean, Henry's kind of gone up a little bit, recently, but none of these guys are through the roof pricing. Saquon Barkley might be the most expensive of all of them, even though he was injured. And here's the thing, right? What you're seeing with these guys, right? Like think of who you're naming. Henry's been the most durable, but also I'd be a little nervous because he's got the most bruising running style, right? So, but Barkley got injured already, and it was a bad injury. McCaffrey's injured a lot, and Cook's missed some games also, and he seems to have weak lower legs. To be honest, he seems to be like a guy who, if I'm supposed to draft him in the upcoming Luka Nation fantasy, he's slotted, I would probably skip him and go to the next guy because I'm a little nervous. He can win a league for you, and you'd have a week where it's like, wow, Dalvin Cook just beat anybody and everybody, beat a whole team himself, but then he's out the next 3 weeks. So I'm a little nervous about him from an investment standpoint. That list, I'm gonna go Henry. He's been doing it for a little while here, and look, he's already had some playoff success, and he's the kind of guy who just he's different. I'm an older investor here, so I like the old school style. I watched enough Giannis games recently where I'm like, he's posting up. He's got a turnaround jumper. He looks a little Ewing-like. He looks a little Hakeem-like down there. Like that, I started to appreciate his game a little bit. That might not appeal to some of the younger folks, but Derrick Henry does. Like that, to me, watching him play football, that's football.
All right, so Henry.
I'm going to go Henry, Dalvin Cook, McCaffrey, Barkley, because of the pricing, right? Because of the pricing that's in there. Because all 4 of those guys have some upside. All 4 of those guys could be great. McCaffrey and Barkley are expensive.
3 vintage cards, and you get to choose one of the 2. So first one, Bird 81 tops, Magic 81 tops. Both PSA 10s, obviously.
I mean, can I have a draw? I mean, I know why you do this.
You can pass.
They're like the second-year cards of both of those. I'm not a huge fan of the second-year cards, although this one is important. You've brought it up a bunch of times that they're first cards by themselves. I think I'll go with Magic on this. Magic had a little more team success. He was a little more relevant culturally. Bird was a great player, but, kind of did nothing else afterwards. Magic had a television show, right? He owns movie theaters and stuff. I don't know where Bird is now. I don't know what he's doing. I haven't seen him since the original Space Jam.
I think he's the owner of the GM of the Pacers, bro.
Yeah, he was with the Pacers for a while. Is he still there? I mean, he was.
Find out.
He coached him, GM'd him, but that was a while ago, I thought. I mean, if he is, he's doing a good job of being stealthy about it.
Okay.
Bird wasn't somebody who was able to sneak around the court either. He was slow as molasses. So I never really had a problem with Magic.
But effective.
Because yes, but the Knicks and Magic's Showtime Magic, they never really crossed paths, but the Celtics and the Knicks kind of did when I was watching as a kid. So to me, it's almost like a personal animus. I like Magic better than Bird. From an investment standpoint, I think you might have found 2 cards that are they're always going to be wed. They're on the same damn rookie card. They're if you look at top 10 lists, they're like 7 and 8, 6 and 7, 8 and 9, interchangeably always on those top 10 lists. Those two guys. So
let's go there. So this is a fun one. Obviously, these two cards are different prices, but we're talking about from an investing standpoint.
Yep.
The draft day trio of Wade, Melo, LeBron, or the Topps rookie of Irving, Bird, Magic.
I'm gonna go with the Bird Magic one.
The three players on this are. Would you say they're better than the players on the other card, or no?
So I say LeBron is the best one of that bunch, but then you have to go all three guys on the other card first, because even though it's not a rookie, Matt,
you think Irving is better than Dwayne Wade?
Yes, 100%.
Wow.
Irving was the best. Irving was the best player in the league for years, and Wade was never the best player in the league when he played. He was good, but if you ask anybody with any age on him, and they say who was the best player in the league, there was a period of a couple of years where Dr. J was the answer without anybody disputing it, 100%. Towards the tail end of Kareem, Okay. So you get all three of those. That said, the reason is not because of who's the best player on the cards. The reason is this: there are way more options for rookies for all three of the guys on the LeBron, Wade, Melo, or was it Bosch? I mean, whoever's on that card, right? Not Bosch, because it'd be the same rookie year, but that would be great, yes, Miami card. But there's way more options in 03 than there were in 1980. Like, that is the clear-cut rookie card. So in that regard, there'll always be more demand for that particular card. Whereas if this card, the trio with LeBron, started rising, there are 14 other ones. I mean, you can get the trio with Darko in the middle too if you want.
Last one. Hakeem Fleer or the Shaq Beam team?
Hakeem Fleer.
Wow, I didn't expect that.
Many of the same. I love the Shaq Bean team, but a couple things. One, it's not a rookie card; it's an insert. It doesn't mean any of the definitions for a rookie card. So it's a great card. It's scarce. It's 90s insert. It's got a whole bunch of stuff going for it, and it's worth what it's worth. And I understand why it's worth what it's worth, but it's not a rookie card. He has a Stadium Club rookie card. It's much uglier than the Beam team. The 86 Fleer is Hakeem's rookie card. Does he have other cards? Sure, he's got some cards from Star in the year before. I have a Hakeem Star from before the 86 Fleer. It's ugly. But that you want a Hakeem, all things being equal, those guys, Hakeem is that's his card. That's his rookie card. Whereas Shaq, you ask five Shaq people who don't just do what Gary Vee tells them to do. You'll get 5 different answers on what the best Shaq rookie card is. Some people say the Beam. I personally say that Shaq's rookie card is that Upper Deck #1 card, the dunking. There's the Fleer rookie, Hoops rookie, Skybox rookie. Some people really like the Magic's all rookie team, which is the Topps gold, right? I mean, that's just that. So the same reason why the LeBron stuff, I go with the vintage. I go with Hakeem for the same reason here, because there's way more options for Shaq.
Let me know. Let me know how I did, Luka Nation. If there's different choices you guys want for future episodes, if there's other pairs you want, shoot me a DM. I'm curious because you guys love this segment. This segment is for you guys. It's a little bit fun. We did it on Saturday for a reason. Shoot me a message and let me know how you like this segment, and 2, what other pairs you want us to discuss in the future.
I think you did great, and I think what we need before we hang up on this episode, before we're done. Notice I do it on my phone, so it's still hanging up. I think we should spend a little time crafting an email to Ken Golden and ask him how much it would cost for Ronaldinho for an hour. Seriously, 1 hour. Not just for his VIP event, for a Luka Nation event. But is that also still not good? Because there are people who go into the National who are not Luka Nation, right? Like should Luka Nation be treated like VIPs? I think we should do it. I think we should reach out to him and say, let's go. Andrew wants to meet him, and we want anybody listening, anybody within earshot of this episode, to sign up for a list and meet Ronaldinho. I think we should do it. I'm willing to contribute.
Because you were able to consign such a large number of these video NFTs with Mr. Ken Golden.
Exactly. Let's go.
I think you have that relationship. So I would take it as a personal offense if Ronaldinho didn't show up and meet me. He needs to come to me now, Cage.
No, I get it. That's it. Now I'm not making any moves. Ronaldinho should know that we're going to make an announcement. The big announcement, big press release later.
Well, you're a big mover. You're a mover and shaker.
We want to make sure everyone knows. Forget about Ronaldinho. Cage is announcing that Andrew Goldberg, formerly known as Coach Goldberg, is going to be at the National. But he's only going to be available to a limited amount of people.
I want to do a
Ronaldinho's the whole
Ronaldinho.
Oh man, nice. Let's do it.
I want to do it. And in the cage is the goalie, and we're doing a penalty kick shootout with Ronaldinho. I'm bringing a mini soccer ball now to
He gets 5 kicks. I'm going to stop 1. I stop 1 of his 5. I'm going to stop 1.
All right, that means I got to score 5 out of 5.
I'm going to stop 1 of them. He's going to score 4. I'm going to stop 1 of his kicks.
I'm going to watch the British national team. I hear they're really good at PKs.
The one where he thinks the first kick, because he's going to think I'm like an actual goalie and I'm going to dive. He doesn't realize that I'm just going to stand still because I'm me. And he's going to try to kick it where the goalie jumps away from. You know, the whole trick where it goes down the middle. And, the goalie evacuates that area. I'm just going to stop it because I'm just not going to move. And then the next one, he can put anywhere he wants because I'm still going to be standing still. No,
Cage doesn't evacuate.
That's right.
He doesn't evacuate the
middle. I don't evacuate the area. All right, guys. Listen, this was a fun one. This is a different one. Good. This has some good vibes to it. You started off being not positive, but I think the smile on your face as we leave sends some positive vibes to Luka Nation out there on a fun weekend episode. So thanks, guys. Thanks for this. This was a fun one. I like it. Let us know what you think.